the child thus remains just like a bird in a cage, without freedom or movement. At that time, if the child is fortunate, he can remember all the troubles of his past 100 births, and he grieves wretchedly. What is the possibility of peace of mind in that condition? Namaste Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Pachadam, Vivishesha Sunya Bhagam Pastati Vishtam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Advaita Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasai Gaura Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So Krishna in the 15th chapter says, I am seated in everyone's heart as the Super Soul. And from me comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. Forgetfulness is amazing. It's amazing how we can forget so many things that we've experienced. We've been through and we've completely forgotten. What to speak of forgetting our birth, most of us cannot remember the majority of our childhood. Right? Interesting, I remember my great-grandmother when she was in her 90s. She would talk about her childhood as if it was yesterday. So those memories are coming back. But we forget so many things. It seems in Kali Yuga most of us forget what we did this time yesterday, let alone what we did this time 20 years ago. As Devamuta Maharaj was pointing out, that we're sandwiched in forgetfulness because we don't remember our past lives, we don't remember our death, we're just in this present moment. Bhaktivinoda Thakur nicely points out, forget the past that sleeps, and the future don't think at all, but act in times that are with thee and progress thee shall call. So we only really have the present in which to act and make decisions. But we can understand, as Prabhupada is pointing out, that this process of birth and death is not very pleasant. Of course, materially speaking, people think that birth is a wonderful thing. And it is a wonderful thing. Everybody's like, wow, baby, and it's so wonderful. But for the child inside the womb, the experience is one of suffering. And most people don't really relate to that. They can't imagine what it's like to be stuck in this little shell where you can't move. And you can't breathe. You don't even breathe. You're just sucking air through your belly button. For 9 whole months. That's a long time, isn't it? It's a long time to be stuck in that condition. But Maya has 2 functions. One of them is to make us forget, and the other one is to pull us down. So as soon as the child is born, we forget all that suffering. And even the mother, when she's giving birth, I'll never do this again. What a horrible experience, and then 6 months later you forget about that. It wasn't so bad. The husband doesn't forget, he remembers. Oh, not again. But you forget all that suffering you've gone through, and you're willing to go through it all again for the sake of the child. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Daidi Yesigina Maya Mamaya Dvachaya Mameviye Papachante Mayamitam Taranti. 7:14. It's very difficult to overcome this material nature. But one who surrenders to me can very easily cross beyond it. So to get over this ocean of material suffering, what is the ocean? We look out into space at night time, we see we're surrounded by darkness, basically. If you ever lie down at night time and just look at the sky, we're just surrounded by emptiness, darkness, and diffuse lights in the sky. And we understand that there's a world beyond the sky, beyond this material universe where we're supposed to be. That's where we actually belong, but we're here. And we can't get across to the other side just on our own endeavour. We can't swim across, we can't fly across. We're stuck in this eternal, nityavada, we're eternally conditioned. Even though we're of a superior nature, as a spirit soul, but still the material energy is so strong because behind the material energy is the supreme magician, Maheshwara, the supreme controller, Krishna. He's behind the material energy. We can't overcome the material energy in our own strength. So as Prabhupada points out in this purport, we need the expert boatman who can help us cross the ocean. But the real ocean isn't the distance between here and the spiritual world. The real ocean is the ocean of material desires, the ocean of conditioning, all the waves within us that we have to overcome. And if somebody's in prison, in this material world, someone goes to prison, there are prisoners that have been in prison for a very long time and they become so conditioned to being in prison that when they get let out, they want to go back in. That's a real condition. They're going to get arrested again just to go back into prison because they've forgotten what freedom feels like. So that's like us, right? We have forgotten what freedom feels like. Let me stay in the prison. I'm happy in the prison. It's good, it's great. When Indra was cursed and given the body of a hog, and Narada Muni came along and said, come back to your heavenly kingdom. No, I'm happy now, I'm happy here. I've got my little piglets and my family and it's all good, I'm happy. I don't want to leave my situation. So we're like that. And so if a captain wants to get the people out to sea, what does he do? He doesn't say everybody get on the boat, stop the decks and get the boat ready. He makes them yearn for the ocean. He makes them want to be out in the sea. There's hope. Get out on the ocean. When you get out on the ocean, we're going to go and find these islands, we're going to find treasures and beauty and all these things. And then they're ready to leave, because they know there's something better. So the expert captain, he's giving us faith in both the process and the goal. When one has implicit and strong faith in the process of devotional service and then the goal of devotional service, then one has the determination to cross the ocean. Like somebody who's in prison, he's forgotten what it's like to have freedom. Or if he remembers what it's like, he doesn't have the faith that he can achieve it anyway. So better way to stay in prison. So the expert captain, he's giving us the faith that we can achieve that goal in this lifetime. And he's giving us remembrance of what that goal actually is. And what is that goal? The goal is to go back home to that world beyond the sky, where we live eternally with our supreme personality of Godhead. And what do we do then? Play. It's amazing when you think about what our faith really is, isn't it? What the scriptures are giving us. We go, there's a little blue boy who's really, really naughty. He goes into the gopis' homes, not because he's hungry, not because he needs to, because he wants to be cheeky and naughty. And he devises all sorts of means to steal their bhajan and yoga. And they hide it as far as they can in dark places, but it doesn't matter if it's dark because he's got jewels and he can see in the dark. And it doesn't matter if they hang it on the ceiling because he gets sticks with iron and pokes holes in it and it pours out. And then if he doesn't get what he wants, what does he do? He goes and pees and passes stool in the clean part of the house and then runs away. And what are the gopis doing? They're complaining, oh, this naughty boy. He's stealing our bhajan, Mother Yashoda. Can you control yourself? But actually, what are they doing? They're enjoying this pastime. They're relishing the pastime. And the cowboy boys, they're running in the forest with Krishna and playing all sorts of games, pretending to be frogs and peacocks, diving in the water, looking after the calves. sitting with Krishna in little circles, having their prasada. And each of them thinks, Krishna's only looking at me and he's only playing with me. And so that is the perfection of that is our goal, right? To be part of that pastime. We aspire to be in that situation, to be with Krishna eternally, playing with him eternally, without any fears of birth, death, old age and disease, without any worries about mortgages and financial bankruptcy or life insurance or mortgage insurance and house insurance and baby insurance, without all of those worries and anxieties. And the only anxiety is, when am I going to get to see Krishna today? Or the anxiety is, oh my God, Krishna's going to hurt his feet when he goes into the forest. The anxieties of the spiritual world. So we have some knowledge of the God through the scriptures and through the teachings of the spiritual master. We have some understanding of what the goal is. We can come in here and we can see remembrance just by looking at all the paintings. It reminds us of the spiritual world, of our home where we belong. And then we have faith in the process. That if I engage myself in this process of chanting and hearing and of following the four regulated principles, then I'm going to be eligible to achieve that goal. And the devotee thinks it may not be in this lifetime. Maybe it's 100 lifetimes from now, but still that's the goal. And if I can somehow stay on this boat, I'm not sure the Prabhupada's created, if I can stay in the process and follow the guidance of the expert one, and then at some point I'm going to achieve that goal. Last week I went to karate training, and the sensei, the teacher, he was giving this little lecture. When you're fighting, if you get knocked down, you've got to get up and fight harder. And I was driving home thinking, Krishna consciousness is the same. Because we're fighting with Maya. We're not fighting against Maya. Maya's not an enemy, is she? Maya wants us to get back to Krishna. She's a servant. But we have to fight with Maya. Because she's going to test us. She has two functions. One is to cover our memory, and the other one is to pull us down. So as we're making progress in our spiritual life, Maya's going to test us, she's going to pull us down. All of our conditionings, the ocean of our conditionings, the ocean of our material desires, will constantly pull us down. And every time we fall down, what do? We get up. And we fight harder, and we become stronger. This time, you've got me, Maya. But next time, I'm going to keep fighting harder. I'm going to chant better. I'm going to focus on my reading more. I'm going to deepen my connection with devotees. And in that way, I get more strength. Another question? No, please.
Now, as you said very beautifully, that Maya pulls us down when you try to go forward in your devotional service. But why would Maya pull us down when we are moving ahead in devotional service? Because as you said, Maya is a servant of Krishna. So obviously the Maya is being appointed so that we people can realize that this is a terrible place to live and there is something which is beyond this which we need to achieve. And but when devotees make progress in Krishna consciousness or in God consciousness, then why Maya is pulling us down? Because we are going in the right path. We are going towards Krishna. Then why is it going like that? Because that's the reason when it pulls us again, we fall back again. And few of them try to get back, but not most of them. So then what is the reason? Why is Maya being so strong to...
Why is Maya being so strong? Why does Maya pull us down when we're trying to progress?
Sorry?
Why does she do that? Why is he trying to pull us down?
When we are progressing in Krishna consciousness.
So Maya has two potencies, that's explained. And it's not that Maya wants to pull us down. Maya actually wants us to go back to Krishna, that's her service. But we have to be purified already. And so we have our conditionings, which come from many, many lifetimes. We also have our karma, which comes from many, many lifetimes. And it's those conditionings which is causing us to continue falling down. It's our conditionings, we own it. And what Maya is doing is helping us to purify those conditionings, that's my understanding.
So till we are completely purified, it will pull us down. Is that what it is?
So if we read in the previous chapter, we just read, it was said that those that go to the hellish planets, that they have to then go through the animal species, so they're going down, and they have to go all the way back up to the human form of life to get on the chance. And in the purple, Prabhupada explains that for the devotees of the Lord, someone who takes to devotional service, they're at least guaranteed a human birth in the next life. So nothing is ever lost. Whatever progress one makes in spiritual life is never lost. It's always there, it's always a forward direction. So whatever we're doing in devotional service, Maya cannot take that away. Nobody can take that away. That's eternally our credit. It's eternally to our benefit. But Maya is always testing us to deepen our surrender and to deepen our connection with Krishna. But nothing's taken away. It's not that we're being pulled back down. The only risk for a devotee, the only risk for a devotee in terms of going back down in the species of life is illness. One offends a Vaishnava, then one can potentially go down, go backwards. But otherwise, once you've taken it to the places of devotional service, you're guaranteed in your next life at least a human form of life. Even if one falls down. So somebody may take to devotional service for 20 years, 30 years, and then completely give it up. But nothing is lost. In their next life, they're still guaranteed to take off from where they left off. That's why the devotees and the Vaishnavas are so eager to give Krishna consciousness to other people, to bring them to that point. Because even if they're not successful, they know that they're guaranteed to continue from that point.
And when will they cut that full cycle?
Sorry?
When are they going to cut that full cycle? Because every time you are born here, you are always entrapped by Maya. Will there be a point in time, after millions of births, where we can get rid of Maya and go back to the spiritual world?
Yes, so the question, I understand your question. Will there be a point where Maya lets go?
Yeah.
Is that the question?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Because every time you come here, Maya is going to pull you down. So you need to go against the Maya, like a gravity.
Is there a point where she lets go? Let's look at Gajendra. I heard a class by Vadana Swami, he was saying Gajendra the elephant was bitten by the crocodile. He said the crocodile was representing Maya, and each one of those teeth was one of those material desires that's binding us. So Gajendra, he was bound by this crocodile's bite for thousands of years, right? They were fighting for a long time. And at what point did she let go?
Probably when he surrendered, I think, to the Lord.
When he completely surrendered. Yeah. So it says Maya can let go at any point, but you have to completely surrender.
Correct.
And what we surrender every day when we come to the temple and we offer our obeisances to the Lord on yours, I surrender to you, I completely know what these heartfelt prayers, it's real. And then we go home and we have an argument with our husband and wife and we completely forget about that. Maya comes in again and we forget.
Yeah.
So we come to the temple and say, oh, I'm so surrendered, I'm feeling this emotion of devotion. And then I go home and I go to work and I completely forget. Because it's not quite 100% surrender. So Gajendra, he got to the point, after 1,000 years, imagine he's fighting for 1,000 years with the demigods. And finally, at that point, when he says, okay, now I understand. My wives cannot help me. The demigods cannot help me. The only person who can help me now is Krishna, and I'm completely yours, Krishna. And at that point, she lets go. So our life's journey is to come to that point of complete surrender. And it's not going to be easy to get there. Because what do I need to let go of in order to get to that point? And so we need the guidance of the expert boatman, as Prabhupada was pointing out, to give us faith in the process and faith in God. So that we have that determination, steadfast determination to continue that process.
And that we need association.
We need association, absolutely. Thank you for your questions. Does anybody else have any other questions?
If Nandi allows, I was just wondering when you said that when you fall, they become stronger. Sometimes it seems like the opposite, they become weaker. So how is it that you become strong?
Yes, thank you for pointing that out. Sometimes it feels like when we fall, we become weaker. And it's a mindset. It's what, how do I deal with that? Do I allow myself to become weaker and say, okay, I'll give up, I've had enough. I can't keep going, it's just too much. Or do we get up and say, actually, no, I'm determined. I know this process works. Sometimes we may need the encouragement from somebody else to give us that strength too. That's where association is very important. Because sometimes on my own, I can't do it, I'm really stuck, it's too much. But somebody comes along and says, no, let's give you the encouragement, you can do this, keep going. Get up again, stand and fight. So what Krishna said to Arjuna on the battlefield, stand and fight us. So yes, determination is definitely required, and encouragement is required, and support is also required to stay on the path. Thank you for that question. I hear lots of people saying at the moment that this whole coronavirus thing, the world situation, people are feeling very down, or they're losing their determination, they're losing their mojo. It seems to be a universal thing. People feel tired, they feel a lack of motivation. But for devotees, we've always got motivation. Every day when you wake up in the morning, I may not feel like waking up in the morning, but as soon as we wake up, I think, oh, I have some service to do, I have something important to do. I have to chant my letters, I must get up. I have something important to live for every day. So we're very blessed. Srila Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada,